In 1970, one of the most famous groups in music history stood at a crossroads. For nearly a decade, the Supremes had dominated the charts and defined the sound of Motown. Their glamorous lead singer, Diana Ross, had become a global superstar. When it was time for her to leave the group to pursue a solo career, many believed that the Supremes would fade into history. Berry Gordy needed someone who was bold, talented, and fearless to step into one of the most impossible roles in music history. That singer helped carry the Supremes into a new era, one that was filled with powerful songs, social messages, and renewed success. Despite the hits, despite the sold-out shows, despite helping the group survive its most uncertain moment, this woman's story remains one of Motown's most overlooked chapters. This is the story of the woman who stepped into Diana Ross' shoes and who helped keep the Supremes alive. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Jean Terrell. Now before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. Born on November 26, 1945 at Belzoni, Mississippi. She was born into a family of 10 children. Their father was a Mississippi sharecropper who relocated his family to Chicago where he found work in factories. Her brother was none other than boxing champion Ernie Terrell, who held the WBA heavyweight title in the 60s. While her brother dominated the boxing ring, Jean decided to pursue a different stage. Before joining the Supremes, she performed with her brother Ernie in the group that was named Ernie Terrell and the Knockouts, that was also known as Ernie Terrell and the Heavyweights. During the 60s, she began performing internationally, touring Europe and Asia, and developing a powerful stage presence. Her voice blended soul, pop, and gospel influences, creating a sound that was both emotional and commanding. At the same time, few could have predicted that she would soon be asked to fill in one of the most famous roles in pop music. By the late 60s, the Supremes was already legends. With hits, they had become Motown's biggest acts. But tensions inside the group has been growing. Motown increasingly promoted Diana Ross as a star of the group, eventually rebranding them as Diana Ross and the Supremes. By 1969, the decision was made. Diana Ross will leave the group to begin her solo career. For most groups, losing their lead singer, especially one as iconic as Diana Ross, meant the end. For Berry Gordy, he had other plans. He intended for the Supremes to continue. They just needed a new voice. Berry Gordy spotted Terrell in Miami in 1969 while she was playing with her brother at a bar. Gordy first brought Terrell to Motown as a solo performer, but he later opted for her to join the Supremes as Ross' successor, teaming up alongside Mary Wilson and Sidney Birdsong. Terrell joined the group on stage to be presented to the press and audience following Ross' last performance with the group on January 14, 1970. According to Mary Wilson, after this introduction, Gordy changed his mind about Terrell, and he wanted Sarita Wright to be in the group. Wilson opposed this move, preferring to remain with Terrell. After this decision, Berry Gordy decided to wipe his hands clean with the Supremes. The group scored chart success at the beginning of the new decade, scoring hits in the United Kingdom while having several pop hits and soul hits in the United States, including Up the Ladder to the Roof, that peaked number 10 on the pop charts and number 5 on the R&B charts. Everybody's Got the Right to Love, that peaked number 21 on the pop charts and number 11 on the R&B charts. Stone Love, They peaked number 7 on the pop charts and number 1 on the R&B charts. River Deep, Mountain High, that peaked number 14 on the pop charts and number 7 on the R&B charts. Nathan Jones, that peaked number 16 on the pop charts and number 8 on the R&B charts. Floyd Joy, that peaked number 16 on the pop charts and number 5 on the R&B charts. Following the success of this song, Birdsong left the group due to her being pregnant, and she was replaced by Linda Lawrence. Despite their popularity around the end of 1973, Terrell and Lawrence believed that it was best for the Supremes to quit Motown and seek another record company. However, Motown controlled the name The Supremes, and Wilson, she was hesitant to move. So both Terrell and Lawrence left the group later that year. All 3 members was dissatisfied with Motown's lack of interest in marketing the group. Also, Lawrence, she was pregnant at the time. So, Cherie Payne, she took over for Terrell, and Sidney Birdsong came back to replace Lawrence in 1973. Terrell officially left to embark on a solo career. She signed a deal with A&M Records. The label issued a solo album by Terrell that was titled I Had to Fall in Love, that was released in 1978. The album did not make any impact on the charts, but there's a reason why. This album had a minor hit with the song Don't Stop Reaching for the Top that peaked number 72 on the R&B charts. Now, back to the album. Despite A&M having plans to heavily market Terrell in an effort to enhance their R&B division, Terrell refused to travel extensively and abandoned her family, claiming that some of the plans that the label had clashed with her Jehovah's Witness beliefs. As a consequence, the album failed and she was let go. Terrell, she put together a one-woman show and toured the United States briefly in the early 80s. Her set included some Supreme songs, some songs from her solo album, and cover songs of Betty Midler and Lionel Richie. Freddie Poole, Payne, and Lawrence was also on this tour, and they also provided backup vocals for Terrell. Ronnie Phillips approached Cherie Payne with the notion of reviving the Supremes. She invited Wilson and Birdsong to join the group. Wilson rejected, wanting to stay focused on her solo career, but Birdsong, she agreed, and she convinced Terrell to join the group. Terrell, Payne, and Birdsong attempted to establish the Supremes offshoot. Due to contractual issues over the ownership of the name, they decided to form a new group that was called FLOS, Former Ladies of the Supremes. Before the group began their career, Birdsong left to pursue a solo career, and Lawrence joined the lineup alongside Terrell and Payne. The group had a notable song that was titled Red Back. However, the label lacked national distribution, and the song, it failed to chart, and the label, they disbanded. Around this time, the group decided to go ahead and tour on their own. They previously released numerous of songs for Ann Levine's Motor City Records, and in 1989 and 1990, they joined the roster full of former Motown performers. After multiple single releases in the United Kingdom, they failed to find traction. Terrell got frustrated and abruptly left the group. In December of 1992, Terrell left and was officially replaced by Sandre Tucker. In 2004, Terrell released a biography DVD that was titled Through the Eyes of a Supreme. Now, according to my research, Terrell, she retired from the music industry entirely. For many fans, the Supremes will always be associated with Diana Ross, but music historians increasingly recognize the importance of Jean Terrell's era. She helped prove that the Supremes was bigger than one singer. Her voice powered some of the group's most powerful and socially conscious songs, and she helped guide the group through one of its most difficult transitions in music history. Without Jean Terrell, the Supremes might have ended in 1970. Instead, they enter a bold new chapter. Today, Jean Terrell's contributions are finally being recognized. She deserves all of the flowers that she gets. She stepped into an impossible role. She faced enormous expectations, and she delivered hits that kept one of the greatest groups in music history alive. The story of the Supremes isn't just about Diana Ross. It's about many more members. It's also about the singer who came after. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song by Jean Terrell, or your favorite Supreme song from her era? Before I go, I want to take a second to promote my Discord. Over here, I provide a safe space for my supporters. We discuss music of all genres. You can provide me feedback on recent uploads, etc. If that interests you, then go ahead and check me out. The link is in my bio. While I have y'all here, if you would like to support the channel further, then feel free to become a member. By doing so, you help make these videos possible. I thank each and every one of you who supported me along this journey.